Something that we can do with rational functions is find its x-intercepts, okay, also known as zeros. So the directions might be find the x-intercepts of the rational function, or the directions might be find the zeros of the rational function. Either way, they're asking you to do the same thing. So to find the zeros or the x-intercepts, we're only concerned with the numerator. So let me write that down here in big and pink. We're only concerned, well, that's too big. We're only concerned with the numerator whenever we're finding the x-intercepts. Numerator. That's pretty thick, huh? Numerator. That's all we're concerned about. We're going to solve the numerator in each of these cases whenever we're finding the x-intercept. So we don't care about the denominator. We only care about the numerator. 2x minus 8 equals 0. So 2x equals 8. So our graph will cross the x-axis at positive 4. And since we're talking about an x-intercept, so we'll put it in point form. If it wants x-intercept, if it says find the zeros, then just x equals 4 is fine. In fact, that's the answer that makes the most sense. Okay, so moving on to the next one. We set the denominator numerator equal to 0, and we solve this. So here we have a quadratic. This will factor to x minus 7 and x. Ew, it doesn't factor at all, does it? Well, that's not good. Let me change it so that it does. Let's make this a 5. Sorry. There we go. Much better. So now we can factor this one to x minus 7 and x plus 2. So this one will have 2 x-intercepts at x equals positive 7 and at x equals negative 2. Okay, and I probably shouldn't have, well, let's see, what's down here? Let me erase it. Sorry. Correct. So this is just fine. The bottom has an asymptote at 1/2, so that does not coincide with this. So set the numerator equal to 0 and solve. But there's a problem with this because there's nothing up here in the numerator for this example. Notice there's no variable. But what we do know is that the y value is 0, so we're going to put a 0 over here. Okay, since there's no x in a numerator anywhere, there's nothing to solve. It doesn't mean it doesn't have one. Okay, it might not have one, but let's see. So we set the y value equal to 0. Now let's solve this thing for x. Okay, so first I'm going to add this fraction to both sides. So I'm adding the fraction, the rational equation, should I say. So that gives me a 4 over x plus 6 equals 2. So what I'm going to do is be a little tricky, and I'm going to write the right side as a fraction, because if I have 2 equal fractions, then I can cross multiply. Okay, that's how this is done. So I'm going to cross multiply here. So I distribute 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 6 is 12, equals 4 times 1, which is 4. Okay. So in this case, if there's nothing in the numerator, you need to have a y value of 0 over here, because that's what happens at the x-intercept. The y is 0. And then we solve this thing down, minus 12 minus 12. 2x equals negative 8. So in this case, it crosses at an x value of negative 4. That's where this final rational function will cross the x-axis. Only one time at negative 4. So set your numerator equal to 0 and solve. Okay, it might be a quadratic that you have to factor, or it might not have a variable at all, in which case you need to put the y value as 0 and then solve for x. Fantastic. There you go.